Welcome to God's Story Time. Did you know the Bible is basically the OG Netflix, packed with drama, miracles, and more twists than your favorite binge-worthy series? Seriously, it's got everything: epic fights, insurmountable odds, redemption arcs, and even a person who got swallowed by a fish. Today, we're counting down 10 Bible stories that are ageless, relatable, and might just make you exclaim, "Whoa, I needed to hear that." So grab your coffee or kombucha, settle on your comfiest chair, and let's plunge into the ultimate scriptwriter's work. Story 1. The creation story. In the beginning, God created, well, everything. Imagine a blank canvas, and God's like, "Let there be light." Boom, instant masterpiece. He splits land and sea, whips up creatures, and tops it all off with his pièce de résistance, humans. Basically, this is the ultimate DIY project. It's a reminder to glance up from your screen once in a while and admire the original aesthetic. Sunsets, stars, and yes, even mosquitoes, for reasons we're still trying to figure out. Story 2. Noah's Ark. When the world went wild, think pre-Noah days were like the purge, but 24/7. God recruited Noah for a very particular mission: build a huge boat and cram it like it's the world's first zoo. Can you picture explaining that to your neighbors? Sure, I'm just building this gigantic ark for some rain. No major. This anecdote is simply a lesson on trusting God, even when his plan seems extra. And hey, if Noah could herd elephants, you can certainly handle that tough group assignment. Story 3. David and Goliath. Picture it. A scrappy youngster with a slingshot fighting a professional big warrior. It's like the Bible's version of an underdog sports movie. David walks in like, "You come at me with a sword, but I come at you with God," and boom, giant down. Moral of the story: no task is too big when your faith game is strong. Also, who needs a gym membership when God's your spotter? Story 4. Moses in the Red Sea. Stuck between the Red Sea and an Egyptian army. Most of us would panic text everyone we know. But Moses? He holds up a stick, believes God, and the sea splits like it's opening night on Broadway. A total drop the mic moment. This narrative is basically saying, when you're feeling trapped, God's out here with GPS-level rerouting skills. Story 5. Jonah and the whale. Jonah's like, "Nah, God, I'm not doing that," and books a one-way ticket to not Nineveh. Cue the gigantic fish Uber. 3 days in a fish belly later, Jonah's like, "Okay, lesson learned." This one's for all of us who've ignored good counsel and then ended up in less than ideal situations. The takeaway? God's mercy is tremendous, like whale-sized huge. Story 6. The birth of Jesus. Imagine telling your pals, "I just gave birth in a barn, and oh, by the way, he's the savior of the world. Mary is the definition of calm under pressure." Meanwhile, Jesus reminds us that you don't need a spectacular start to make a world-changing influence. Humble beginnings? Check. Divine purpose? Also check. Story 7. The parable of the Good Samaritan. Jesus is basically like, here's how to be a nice human. Help people, even if they're not your crew. Imagine a modern Good Samaritan stopping to rescue a stranger with a flat tire on a highway at rush hour. That's the mood. This story shocks us with the lesson to put compassion on our to-do list. Story 8. The resurrection of Jesus. Plot twist of all plot twists. Jesus conquers death like a master. The disciples are distraught, then boom, he's back. It's the ultimate comeback story, considerably better than any superhero movie. His resurrection is like the mic drop moment of Christianity, teaching us that no condition is beyond redemption. Story 9. The Prodigal Son. Ever wasted all your funds on something silly and then had to contact your parents? That's the Prodigal Son, except with fewer Venmo requests and more livestock. When he comes crawling back, his dad arranges a celebration instead of a guilt trip. This one's a tearjerker reminder that God's love is always waiting to welcome us back, no matter what. Story 10. The Great Commission. Jesus says, "Go tell everyone about me." And the disciples are like, Challenge accepted. This isn't just a one-time mission, it's the original influencer campaign. And hey, you don't need 1 million followers to communicate the happy news. Start where you are. Your coffee shop, your Zoom calls, your DMs. Each of these stories is like a spiritual vitamin, packed with wisdom, faith, and God's love. Which story touched you right in the feels? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who could use a little motivation. Until next time, keep the faith, spread the love, and remember, God's got your back, even when life feels like a Jonah moment. See you on the next God's Story Time.